Restaurant story soon, okay? We're gonna wait until we get to like, just a little longer, okay?
10 seconds later.
Okay, it, I'll tell the story. It was after closing time, and there was a party of 5. One of the ladies goes outside to smoke a cigarette. She comes back in. I end up going over there, opening the door for her. This is literally how she said it. She goes, "Can I finish eating with my family?" And I said, yes you can. And she goes, "Why is the door locked?" I said, "Because like any other restaurant, we close our doors at a certain time." She goes, "Well, I was just having a cigarette." And I said, "Okay, well, you can return to your family." And they're like, "Hi, I just wanted to let you know it was my daughter's birthday, and she didn't get like a special happy birthday dessert plate. I told the host over the phone when I made the reservation. The lady lied. They never called. This lady's just clearly a psychopath." And you know what the best part was? Her name was fucking Karen. Her name was Karen. That was the first story, and that one wasn't even as nearly as bad as the second story I have for you. We had another issue with a lady after closing time. So I'm sitting there eating my delicious spicy pasta when all of a sudden, one of my bussers, his name is Evan, he comes walking in and he says, "Hey, I just want to let you know there's this crazy lady who's been pounding on the front door for like literally a minute and a half. I wasn't gonna answer for a while so she would get the hint, but she never got the hint. So I went over and I opened the door and she said, 'Please, I'm starving. Please let me in.'" Our busser was like, "I'm sorry, we're closed," and went to close the door. As he's closing the door, she sticks her hands like in between to like pry it open and was like, "No, like, let me talk to a manager." I walk out there and she's probably in her 60s, late 60s. And I walk over there and she says, "Please, I'm so sorry I'm late. I'm starving. Please let me in." We're right around closing time. Like, the last thing I need is to have her like send an email if I don't let her in that I didn't let her in, and then I'll get in trouble. So I was like, all right, let me go see what the kitchen has open if we can get you in. So I go over to the line and Juan's there. "Yeah, we can take her." So I take the lady. I'm like, all right, we can get you in real fast. And that's me basically trying to push her so she orders as fast as possible so we can get the fuck out of there. She sits down, she orders a steamed asparagus. Juan runs it over to her, the gent that he is. He brings it over to the lady, and the first thing she says to him when he drops it on the table is it really soft?" And he goes, "I mean, it's pretty soft." And she goes, "Well, I like it really, really, really soft." And Juan was like, "Okay, I can do that for you. I'll be back." So Juan goes and boils the fucking asparagus for like 5 minutes, brings it back to her, and for her meal, she ends up ordering a chicken sausage, which takes a while to cook, by the way. So Juan was pissed off. He was like, "What the fuck? I don't feel like sitting here like longer for this crazy lady who shouldn't have even been here in the first place." So he cooks the chicken sausage. He brings it out to her. She takes one bite and says, "This is too salty and too spicy." Juan tells me that he didn't put any salt in the pork sausage, so he just spent 15 minutes for nothing making a fucking pork sausage. And she reorders and she ends up getting a crab cake, right? Crab cakes are usually not massive, right? Crab is expensive, but she orders a crab cake. Juan looks at me and he goes, "Should I put the lemon butter mustard sauce on the side?" I said, "Yes, you should, because we're not dealing with this shit if she doesn't want the sauce." We bring it over to the lady, and the first thing she says is, "Oh wow, I didn't know it was gonna be this small." "Well, I'm sorry, the kitchen's closed. We'll bring you some more bread." And I'm going back and I'm cashing out some servers, right? The server who had this lady comes up to me and she goes, "This lady wants to taste test some a champagne." I said, "Fine, we'll let her taste test one. Maybe she'll order one, you know, because we usually do that. Not a big deal." The bartender comes back to the office like 5 minutes later. "This lady wants to taste test another one." And I said, "No." I said, "We're shutting it down."
Shut it down. Forget it.
So Audrey, the server, goes over to the lady. It was like an hour past close. She was just sitting there reading a fucking book on her phone, not getting the hint when everyone else is gone from the restaurant. She basically says it like this: "I'm sorry, miss, but the bar is closed. You can't taste anymore." And the lady goes, "Don't call me miss. I don't like being called miss." So Audrey goes, "Okay, what would you prefer that I call you?" "Just don't call me miss, because by calling me miss, you're implying that I'm married, and I'm not, and it makes me sad." What the fuck? Which, by the way, if you didn't know, miss does not mean that you're married. Ms. or Mrs. means that you're married, usually. It's just me Audrey, my busser Evan, and this lady. And I walk out there to void off that chicken sausage. And as soon as we walk into the restaurant, I can hear this lady yelling, like really loud, top of her lungs yelling. Hello? Hello? Is anyone there? Hello? And I just look at Audrey and I'm like, what the fuck? And she goes, yeah, she's been doing this. She's been doing this for a while now. And I walk past my busser, Evan, as he's like resetting a table. And as she's like screaming, he's just like, he just lets out a big sigh. He's just like, because he's getting fucking frustrated. He wants to leave. We all want to leave. We go over to the table and the lady goes, oh, hi. I'm sorry, I can't read the total. What's the total? She ends up leaving my server a $5 tip on like a $40 bill after like all the shit that she put her through. I finish up all of my closing procedures in the back, deposit our money. The busser comes back, so he has to wait for the table to leave. So he comes back and he goes, this lady is just still sitting on her phone reading a book. Can I just tell her to leave? And I said, no, I'll do it. I'll go do it, all right? So we walk out there and I see her. And she's just like roaming around the restaurant, grazing like a gazelle. Just like walking around as if it's like her own house. Like, can I help you? She goes, do you have a wastebasket? And I was like, yeah. So I go up to the host stand, which is like not too far away from her table. I bring the wastebasket over. She throws her waste into the basket. So I say, mainly to try and continue to make sure she's leaving and to push her out, to say, hey, get home safe. Have a great night. And she goes, oh, thank you for your hospitality. And, you know, everything was great. I was like, yeah, no problem. Because I'm just like trying to be nice, of course. She ends up asking me, could I get another mask and a new pair of gloves? So we get her a new mask and a new pair of gloves. Well, I hand it to her, right? And she hands me back the mask, which is inside a little plastic bag, right? And she goes, can you open this for me? And I said, sure. I'll open it for you. After that, she goes, do you have a wastebasket? And I said, yes, I have a wastebasket. So I go back to the host stand because I put the wastebasket away and she's like gearing up to go. She's like gone at this point, right? Me and Evan, the busser, just sitting there at the end of the bar, waiting for this lady to walk out of the restaurant so we can officially end the evening. We see her walk all the way to the door and she stops. Just like stops. She turns around and goes, I shit you not. She goes, do you have a wastebasket? I swear to God. I swear I'm not fucking with you. She goes, can I have a wastebasket? And I said, yes, I'll give you the wastebasket. Okay. And then she throws away her naughty napkin towel thing and she leaves and we get the fuck out of there. And that is the story of last night. We got 2 parties of 9 after 8 o'clock, and I was like, God damn it, like, why does God hate me? They ended up leaving really early, and I thought, no way. Like, this is great. All the food's out. Like, I'm done. And then this psycho lady decides to bang on the door for a minute and a half. And I was like, you were exaggerating, right, Evan? And, like, the bartender was like, no, like, I watched it. She sat there for a good minute and a half, like, yelling, trying to get in. It was the strangest experience I've ever had. I hope you all enjoyed my story time.
Hi Brett, I just had one really quick question. Do you have a waste basket? 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 Do you have a waste basket?